My problem with the community, if you and I was ready to come on the show and go, put up your dukes, we're going to scream at each other, we're going to kill each other, a very easy thing to do. If you and I had dinner tonight, we would get along, we would get drunk, we would agree on, you would try and have your way with me, we would get drunk, we would have a good time, we would fight about certain things, but there would be a almost conciliatory nature, even when we agreed to disagree. And my problem with the tone of a lot of your stuff, and it's very deliberate, and it sells, is it's divisive. And why the need for that?
I think it's not fair to talk about only me being divisive. I mean, what has happened is that finally conservatives are allowed to speak back. I mean, look at what was said about Judge Bork. Look at what was said about Linda Tripp, Paula Jones. I mean, it used to be the vicious acrimony came only from one side. Now I can talk back.
Oh, so the viciousness throughout our entire country
up
has
until
come
the
from the blue state
media.
Has always been the blue states?
Yes.
I must have grown up in a very different country. Wait, so you're telling me
so all the vitriol,
NBC, CBS. Okay, once again, which I want to play the clip, okay, because you sold that. I want to show you a clip from Tonight Show where you point the dirty finger at the media, and everybody goes, let's show that.
I understand you had an Ann Coulter joke last night, Jay.
Oh, I had a bunch of Ann Coulter jokes all the time.
But I was worried about Dorothy's house falling on me.
I think that was the joke, yeah. And then I had I liked you. Then the other joke was I like you better when you were fighting Sigourney Weaver in The Ailing. I think that was the other movie I did.
Well, but see, that's from my perspective, I'm Dorothy.
Really?
And I've just dropped my house on the mainstream media.
Well, I guess that's true. Well, let me. It's so different than the way I work. Maybe it's because I'm a comic. See, my thing is, it's sort of more flies with honey. You make your point, even if you get a couple of digs in, you make your point. Whereas this seems to me, the words you've used have overshadowed the point that you were trying to make, to the point where people are upset about you attacking the widows. They don't understand the point you were trying to make. And I think most people still don't understand the point you were trying to make. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I suppose I'm not really trying to attract people. If I wanted to attract people, you know, I'd wear sexy dresses. Grow my hair long.
No, I got you.
We're going to get to the widows later. I guess my point was interesting. In the one blanket statement, you know, the media. Okay.
The mainstream media.
So Fox News is not mainstream media.
Well, the fact that there's competition among cable stations has now opened things up for conservatives. I mean, you wouldn't know my name before 24-hour news. Ted Turner has done more for the conservative movement than almost anyone this century.
If you took NBC,
he's in the top 10.
You took NBC, CBS, and ABC, what you're calling the liberal media, although we've established mainstream media. Okay. you would say they are as stilted as Fox is?
I would certainly say I think I could win a case in court that MSNBC is far more liberal than Fox News is.
I didn't say that. MSNBC just popped. We got to make me take a break.
Well, okay, but the problem is I don't watch ABC, NBC, CBS anymore. Are they still around?
Yes, they're still around, and my good friend Jeff Zucker is coming out after, and he's going to be very upset with you. Okay, we got more at the end. We do need to talk about the widows when we come back. You know, I got a lot to say about that. I think you were joshing. I don't think you believe what you said when we come back.
I believe everything
Well, then we're going to have some problems when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We are back with the loquacious, the vivacious, the ultra-conservative Ann Coulter. Appreciate you coming here because I certainly have not been shy on this show about taking shots at you. And so I appreciate you here.
I'm glad I missed those shows.
Glad you missed those. Look, you got to help me out with this because you're obviously a very bright woman and a very calculated. I don't mean calculated in the bad sense of the word. I read about your parents. I always like to look at somebody to find about their parents and quotes, and they seem like delightful people.
Yes, they are. Why am I so mean?
No, how could you possibly come out, and I'm not going to sit here and scream, with these widows, the witches of Brunswick, the harpies, who paid the ultimate price. They lost their husband. We don't know them personally. Maybe some of them were going to get divorced or whatnot. They lost their husbands. They lost the father of their kids. What gives you the right to pass judgment on them?
It's not passing judgment. It's describing a phenomenon that the left use of sending out these human shields to make their points for them.
I'm not bringing left. Once again, you're going back. The very thing I said I don't think exists in this world is this left-right, this liberal thing. I'm talking about human beings. Okay, but I want to talk about the human. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but I want to talk about the human beings here. How do you, as a human being, feel the right, the ability, the comfort to come out? These people, they lost the fathers of their children, and to say that they were cashing in on it and do. First of all, if they were being exploitive, whatever they're going to do, they can't do enough as far as I'm concerned. So that's number one. What? Well, as you were writing that, and those words were coming out, obviously you knew they were going to sell. Obviously they're going to hit a nerve and whatnot.
No.
Didn't you feel? Wasn't there a sense of just decency that came over you? I mean, I don't have to be any more candid about it.
And they are putting other women's husbands and children at risk by
doing what?
By lobbying for the whitewash 9/11 Commission, by denouncing George Bush rather than, for example, Jamie Gorelick, who was responsible for the wall of separation that prevented the FBI from knowing about the hijackers here. And by the way, if what I said was so wrong, then is it also disgusting for all the 9/11 widows I've been hearing from since then who think I wasn't harsh enough? They don't want
all
these.
Of those. How many of those 9/11 widows?
A lot of them. The point is, they don't get quoted in the press. They're not fed in Vanity Fair.
But the bottom is...
No, the ones attacking Bush, who was fighting the war on terrorism.
You broad-stroked 9/11 widows.
No, basically. I did not.
That's what it felt like to the rest of the country.
No,
so you
that's what the media that you're claiming isn't liberal
the media
lied
wants
about.
It lied about. Okay, so you were talking about how many specific women?
It was a lie.
How many specific women were you talking about?
4.
Okay, and you
Four. They call themselves the Jersey Girls.